end of a long run before the film actually comes out on Friday. Well, how are you feeling, like, the reception to this film since you've been previewing it and getting it out to audiences like this?
It's been a real trip. It's been quite surreal. We started in Utah at Sundance in January, and then Sundance London in like June, and we've had a bunch of previews all around the country the past 2 weeks. I mean, Glasgow, Bristol, Newcastle, Sheffield, Birmingham, and I'm sure I'm forgetting some really cool places that will come at me. But it's been amazing, and I'm just very grateful. The reception has been very strong, and I think a lot of people have appreciated the story that we've told here.
And Ty, I mean, you're lucky it was school holidays. Have you been on the tour as well, or have you not been able to?
Well, I've only went to the Sundance in London.
Okay.
So yeah, that was the first one I've been to. So.
What's it been like?
It was at the beginning. It was all relaxing. I was just seeing everything. But then they wanted to put me up in front of cameras, and then I kind of like, I didn't know what to do. they don't prepare me or anything. So then I just went up on stage, went up there, and then I just started talking. It just came naturally. So, yeah.
That's good. You've really got a nice presence. You know what? So, why now? Why was it now the time to tell this story?
Well, it's had, the story's had a long gestation period. I always wanted to tell a story about foster care from my experience in it. And, I met up with so many other British Nigerians who had been fostered, and their stories were so varied and so different but similar in many ways. And I just wanted to find a way to bring that to the screen. It took me developing the script for like 4 years. We had development with the BFI initially, and it took some time. And then they stuck. We were on a scheme, and we came off a scheme, but then they stuck with us, and we started to develop independently with them. And that was the most fruitful period of development. And I think it's an interesting time. The country, we're talking a lot about immigration. We're talking a lot about national identity, and I think one thing that gets lost in the conversation, particularly around immigration, is the fact that so many first generation like Brits, Nigerian Brits, or however you define it, like people like my mum, aunties, uncles who came to this country for wanting a better solution, a better beginning for their kids. That journey is a hard journey to understand as a second gen. I didn't understand it growing up, and I just wanted to represent the understanding of that journey through the eyes of a child who might not understand it at the beginning, but by the end, you understand the sacrifice, you understand what that meant coming to a country with a completely different culture, different type of energy, and what that meant to try and say, yes, I'm going to stake a claim here, I'm going to have kids here, and I'm going to build something here and become part of this national identity. So I felt like that was super important to reflect.
So what was the research that went into this? I know it's based on some of your personal experiences, but how did you widen the story so it wasn't just about you, but also represented a lot of people who experienced this?
I just went through an interview process with various British Nigerians, a lot of friends, because it really took close people to really open up, to tell their stories. I'm still meeting people who I kind of know, but the thing I didn't know about them was that they were fostered.
Yeah.
It's not the first thing that comes out of your mouth. And there's no stigma around it. It's just an experience, and it's very varied. And so I just wanted to try and tell a story that could encapsulate all of the different elements that I encountered with the people I met.
So what came first? Well, after you got this idea, developed it, got it to script ready, was it the cast or the crew that you felt were most important to get locked down to be able to deliver this wonderful piece of work?
I've worked with a lot of my crew, especially before, and shout out to cinematographer Still Williams. I know he's not here, but I've worked with him. I've worked with him many times, and editing extraordinaire M. Demiri M. Kemi. Shout out to him. I think he's here. I think we should stand up.
Do you want to stand up?
I think all crew, all part. In fact, if we could get all cast or crew to stand up, that would be great. Just so everyone can see. All cast and crew. So the team behind the camera, M. Demiri, still Shegunakinola, composer, who I always make the joke. Like, you know, he's also the composer for Doctor Who. So he was making a lot of Doctor Who money. So we weren't sure if we were going to get him. He's Nigerian, you know, he likes money. So we weren't sure if we were going to get him back. But he was like, you know what, Shola, I'll stop making this Doctor Who money. And I'll come work with you for a period. So that was I'm always grateful for Shegu for that. Because he's, for me, one of the best composers. So.
And that's testament to maybe you as that to you as it's testament to you as a director, and like people will actually come on something like Doctor Who to come work on something like this and believing in the project. So you got your crew secured, and then it was about the cast. And this young gentleman over here, what was it about Ty that made you feel like that he can be young Femi?
Well, I have to shout out the cast and directors, Aisha Waters and Shaheen Bey, because you know, and especially I'm going to give Aisha a special shout out because you know we found Sam and the Wumi Olufemi early, and it took a lot younger to find that energy, you know. And Ty, like we went through a process with him, and he's a great sport, and he was very accepting of the process.
Wait, pause. Ty, what did he do? Tell me quickly. This process.
Well, he just asked me a couple of questions. So he got to know who I was, and then he told me to do a couple of things like to see if I could act. But then after that, I think it was just to find out if I had the personality that he wanted the character to have.
How did you? You're gonna get a lot of this. I literally want to cry a little bit. How did you get to understand what you had to do to bring young Femi to life? Like, how did it? Because I don't want to patronise you, but you're young. So how did you get in touch with his character in a way?
Well, when I found out what the film was about, then I kind of got the gift of where I was going. But then when I got on set and everything, everyone was just helping me to like guide me with what I should do. So then that really helped me. And then after that, everyone was just
just helped you and supported you.
It's just that everyone was just so helpful. So I didn't really need to know exactly who I needed to be. It just kind of naturally.
Oh man, he's trying to say that Shola's a good director, isn't he?
He's got somewhere there. He was gonna land. We should have let him land.
That's right. I director, I suppose. But yeah, so again, so you found Ty, and then you got the rest of the cast: Benny, Sam, Ruth. What was that? You know, how did you? Because there are. It's not like the semi-harrowing, but it's some emotional, really deep emotional scenes, especially between Ben and his mum. So Sam and Benny. So what was that like in getting what you needed across without kind of getting lost in the emotions, but also knowing that you've got to get to the end goal?
You know, like the script is really just a blueprint, and it doesn't really become an active thing until you've cast. And I cast as close to the bone as possible. So when I cast, it's them, they're the character, and so then I'm absolutely in a space where I'm asking them more questions than anything about character. So I really let the actors lead a lot, and we just set up a parameter, a place for them to play around and discover things, and therefore you get an organic kind of performance. I'm always trying to eliminate the artifice, the element of performance background, so I'm always trying to revert back to that in every element of the production. And it's a tricky thing to do, to get that super realistic performance, but in such a stylized film. But as long as the actors felt like they had absolute freedom to explore, then I always felt like we were getting gold. And lots of moments that I wasn't anticipating, you know.
And the location, very important. You filmed in Peckham.
Yeah.
And
no.
We
shot in Woolworth, East Street Market, Aylesbury Estate. Shout out to Aylesbury for letting us shoot on that iconic estate.
Because I mean, that's an iconic estate, and you got to film there. Like, what was?
Donna and Charlotte. I went to I worked on that estate as a community worker, running a film club for quite some time, and I spoke to them about this film, and they were really cool and really supportive of the film. Sometimes when filmmakers go onto the estates, they have a way of demonizing them. We all saw what happened to the Haygate estate and how that kind of became a sick estate in the depiction. And I think Donna and Charlotte were, I really am grateful for them letting me shoot on the Aylesbury. I couldn't imagine shooting anywhere else. And I love you too.
And Abby, housing officer,
Abby, thank you very much. Thank you. And they knew that I wasn't there as someone who, as an outsider, just coming in to exploit it. They knew I would have had pure intentions than that.
And it was getting the locals on board. Was it? I mean, just maybe from a filmmaker's perspective and working in spaces like that, you have to consider the community.
Absolutely, and I think sometimes filmmakers get that line very wrong, and so therefore the community has a right to be a bit cynical and skeptical. And we just tried to approach it in the most organic way as we could. And I honestly could not imagine shooting those scenes anywhere else.
It's where you grew up?
Yeah, it's actually 10 minutes from where I live.
Wow. So what was that like? It must be a bit surreal that who was Shola when he was on, 10 minutes away from that space? Were you thinking about making films back then, or?
Oh, you mean growing up?
Yeah.
I always joke with Shegun that essentially I'm like a failed musician who makes film. That's why I like the composing element so much. I would have felt like music was really what I would do, if not performance, but like music journalism. I studied journalism at uni.
I'm looking for journalists.
I think it was university where I also picked up filmmaking because I had an American studies, a year doing American studies, and that's where you were really analysing films, and it's where you read all the interesting books, like Frederick Douglass, Malcolm X, all that sort of stuff, and that's really where I started to engage with cinema in a serious way.
Okay. And you went to Nigeria?
Yeah, we shot in Nigeria, in Lagos.
And what was that like? I mean, I think I read that Sam, it was his first time going back.
Yeah, it was Sam's first time going back, like the character, and so those reactions you see when he's looking outside the taxi, so those are all very real. For him, it was like a real homecoming. I couldn't have been gladder that it was this film that was a conduit to get him back there. And shooting in Nigeria, it was always a dream to go home and to make a film. And that section of the film is so important to him understanding his mother, the journey, the motherland, his spirituality, culture, all of the things that were absent when he was growing up. It's the final seed for him in a sense. So I couldn't have had a better time in Nigeria shooting. It was a dream.
It wasn't the first time for you?
Not in Nigeria, no. Okay. But shooting a film, yeah.
So why was it important to feature African spirituality, especially in a country that's predominantly Christian and Muslim? Why did you feel to showcase?
Ifa is a traditional Yoruba culture, and so I have a problem with the way it's demonized a lot of the time. Where in Nigeria, outside of Nigeria, sometimes ostensibly it seems like there's a lot more energy and I don't know, connection to it in places like South America, where, due to the slave trade, that's where they went with the Santerias and evoked the Ifa energy there. But I wanted to make a film that could show a real key part of my culture in a way that I felt it hadn't been depicted before in a positive light, and as part of Femi's kind of cultural awakening and breakthrough, because it's a very important thing to me and my family and our history, and I think it's important that I had an opportunity to show that. What was quite funny though is that when we went to shoot the scene, I think some of the Nigerian crew thought we were going to actually get an actor for that role, but we actually had an Ifa priest.
A real priest.
So real one, and they refused. Some of them refused to come on set.
Wow.
But he was very cool, and it was a very spiritual day. It was Sam and I really soaked up all of the energy that was around us, and it was really important.
Oh, that's really excellent. And Ty, did you get to go to Nigeria? No.
Oh.
Shola, man.
Next time.
Shola.
I think he's done pretty well for an 11-year-old.
That's cool. So I guess I kind of want to open up to the audience because I'm sure you guys have lots of questions to ask. So please put your hand up, and I think there's a roving mic to please don't go shy. I know you guys want to ask questions. Put your hand up first and then we'll go.
Shola, hello.
Hello.
Hello. Can you hear me? Is it on?
It's okay.
Thank you so much. First of all, I think this film needs to come with a trigger warning because there were many points where I was like, oh my god, that feels really, really deep. In terms of the kind of way he was being, it's not on, is it? Hello. Yeah. There we go. I knew it wasn't on. Thank you. Sorry, everybody. I was just saying that at the beginning of this film, I felt it should have come with a trigger warning because there were many aspects of it which, like, really evoked some visceral responses. The bits where you filmed the kind of beating bits, how did you talk through that? Because you got it right. It was perfect. And also the bits where the drills and the kind of punishments, which some people may not have understood. Are you Nigerian? No, you're not. So how did you get that? I mean, you're a director, so I'm sure you're amazing. But how did you? Because it was really on point. Yeah.
I really worked with. I mean, we really worked together to find a balance for that. What felt like we could get you close to it.
But yeah, I don't come from Nigeria, but at the same time, what was I going to say?
Is it similar culture?
Yeah,
that you know?
similar culture. Everyone has their differences and everything, but just that Sam and Shola was there, they helped you a lot. So, yeah.
More questions? Okay. There's a lady here, there's a lady there. In the middle, and then maybe go behind the middle.
Hi, thank you, Shola. So, for young people growing up on the Aylesbury, would you recommend football player, drug dealer, wrestler, or filmmaker, and why? And if you'd have stayed in Lincolnshire, would you have voted for Brexit? There's 2 questions.
Those are really intense questions, Charlotte. You know what those called? I have a word for those questions. They're called private questions. I can't remember. I think in one of the articles I read, it was like that a certain area of Lincolnshire was like a real high leave vote for Brexit. I can't. It's so subjective. I tell you how I can answer that question is that I'm really glad, just from my own foster experience, that I got to come home and experience my family and my culture, because of course I would have been a completely different person without it. So that, that's, and there are obviously some people who are foster who don't get to go home, and I think that has to be acknowledged. So there's that. In terms of what kids on the Aylesbury should aspire to be, I think whatever holds their interest and enables them to see a place beyond Aylesbury as well as in Aylesbury, that's I'm all for that.
I just wanted to jump in and say, actually, this is an important part of British history, British black history, and actually British collective history, because it's such an untold, it's like a secret, non-secret, because those of us who went through it know about it. We didn't talk about it, but it's a shared experience, and we're not talking about it. We kind of brought it to light now, but it's also an important bookmark moment, especially going into Black History Month. How does it feel that you're kind of pushing this narrative to the forefront, and it's an important moment? There needs to be like some sort of stamped book. This is part of the archive, and more should come from it. How does it feel that you're part of this kickstarting this narrative?
I just think there's so many stories in this world, in that space, and it's been a long time coming, and I hope that it's just the first of many.
Okay. More questions?
Hi.
It's on.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I didn't hear myself. Yeah, I cried a lot. Thanks. No, because it was very relatable, and I just like reliving certain scenes. Just my question is, there's so many parallels to Moonlight. Moonlight is like literally the movie of my life. But I don't know if this is on purpose, if you meant that on purpose, where like some scenes, including even the score, it mirrored Moonlight. Because, Moonlight was obviously it was a great movies, photography, and I see the same in your film. If that was on purpose, especially where scenes where the main character is where you see non-verbal
expression and emotion.
Non-verbal expression and emotion. Was it on purpose? Was you inspired by obviously Barry Jenkins' work, or just that's what interested me.
No, I like Barry. I think he's a great filmmaker. It's not really. I think the films that were actually references for this were films that might not necessarily come to mind when thinking about this film. Like films like A Prophet by Jacques Audiard. He's one of my favorite filmmakers. And a lot of Lynn Ramsey. That's kind of where I was pulling from in terms of, and there's a smidgen of Malick. There's between there as well as pulling from. I think I can understand the parallels in terms of the comparisons, and it's definitely not something I'm oh, no, or I start to curl up in a ball and cry over. And I actually appreciate it because it's a great film and it's a great piece of film history. But I was very, very excited to showcase a British Nigerian perspective. And African American culture has a dominion over kind of global black narrative.
That's in the narrative of being African American.
Yeah.
I was talking about the style of your filming is very
It's more the style, the visuals.
the visuals, basically it's just very similar. That's I would say exactly like it. It's what I
All right, well, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Put your hands up, clean, so we can see. I don't know where you're going to choose. Sure.
I'd like to say fantastic film. I really enjoyed it. This is going to tie. First and foremost, two questions. What do you love about filmmaking and being in films? And two, can we have your autograph tomorrow at school?
So at the beginning, I wasn't really growing up to be an actor. I just literally fell into it. But when I basically got in because basically I was doing modelling and then someone noticed me and then they started giving me acting jobs. So then I started going to castings and everything. And then my second casting was with the last shoot. So then when Shola picked me for the last shoot, that kind of lead me to my career now. So
I love it when Mandem can just casually drop that they were a model. In the answer of their question. As a model,
And my second audition. No, that's just the
second audition.
There's old people out there that are like, I just can't get a job.
I kind of feel like a role model.
But you are.
I feel like I'm encouraging all of my friends to start doing better things and push for their careers.
Sorry, Ty's mum. Seriously, I'm going to put that in my set, seriously. Don't let me take him home, seriously. It's my son now.
Shout out to Ty's parents.
Shout out to Ty's parents, well done, man. Please, hands up. More questions? Okay.
That's our most frequently asked question, and we love it. It's always. I hope it's not underwhelming as an answer. It's literally a very simple concept. It's the concept of the family tree and being connected to one's roots, which the character at the start of the film does not have, and gains over the time of the film.
Okay, nice. That's a good question. Good answer. We got some people over there. Then to the lady at the back. Likes exercise.
Hi Shola, is this on?
Yeah.
Hi Shola. So this is another stylistic question. I don't know if I'm reading too much into your colour choices, but I noticed in the early half of the film you used only primary colours, so red and blue, and then obviously in the second half, so second coming home, we saw green and we saw yellow. Was that very intentional?
Yeah, no, I think at the start it feels quite warm. The colour that starts to kind of protrude, and I think it does a bit at the start too, is definitely a bit of red. but it really hits red at certain scenes where it reaches its kind of peak danger, its peak tension, and that's when we kind of introduce that color. And then we were just trying to find a more organic color palette for the Lagos Nigerian scenes that kind of gave the film a different energy and a different texture.
Thank you.
The spark of the idea, and like, was there like a moment in your life where you just like, that really inspired you to sort of go out and start like developing this idea?
Yeah, it's being fostered.
Expand.
No, really, that's
That was
it.
it. That was
That's
it.
really it. Like, I doubt I would have ever made this film if I hadn't experienced it. It's literally the answer.
I think most filmmakers, right, they have, I think their one thing is getting their story across and getting it out there, and so that's usually a jumping point to then start to define who you are as a filmmaker, right?
Yeah, I think you're always trying to understand your history, and I think that comes out in the work, you know. And so just having that experience and meeting so many other British Nigerians who have had that experience was a key thing for me.
And also, because you're saying British Nigerians, it happened to a lot of West Africans.
Yes,
and,
yes, it did. It did. I primarily met Nigerians,
Nigerian,
but it has happened. Yes.
Yeah, just because. Yeah. Lady down at the front, please. She's getting tired now.
Thank you for giving me the mic. So for me, it's more an observation, not necessarily a question. So about 4 years ago, I saw a picture on Facebook, and that's the first time I came across the concept of, a lot of people were fostered, and I opened this conversation about 3 years ago, and I always wanted to write a book. Now, when I saw this movie, I thought, oh, perfect, someone's done the job for me. My original question was, what's the research? And he's come and said, this is a personal experience. Now, what, if you don't mind me saying, I would have loved to have seen more, was a bit more balanced in the beginning, because to me, watching it, and I've also been in a relationship with two people who had similar experience or has this heritage who are British Nigerians, just as I am, it was not just completely rosy on one end, and then completely violent on the other. And I think, some people might point that out, so it would have been nice to see balance. I love Ty, you were amazing, deathbed expression, at the table, and eat your peas, I can imagine. But it was beautiful. What I did love was that, I thought if I were to end it, I would have ended it on the beach exactly what you did. So it's amazing. I'm glad you've opened the conversation around fostering. And well done, it's amazing.